Britt Thompson here with you today, and lucky to have a special guest in here in the studio with us, Josh Purgason, here with us on Eagle 102.3, and man, glad to have you here.
Oh, what's up, Brett? Good to be here today.
Doing good. You know, we were just talking about it. As far as your music, we are a country station here at Eagle 102.3, but your music, what kind of genre it is, what it is, I don't know, it's kind of got its own feel to it, and, you know, that's a good thing right there. You know, I listened to it myself, and I was just I was blown away. It's phenomenal.
I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I'm with you on that as far as the type of genre the song is. It's got a little bit of everything in there. You know, it's got a country tinge to it, just with the banjo and the way the production went on the song. But then, you know, counteractive, you got my vocals, which is not your stereotypical country type of voice. You know, as you can tell, you hear me talking, I sound country plain as day.
Country as can be right there, listening to you.
But my voice is the exact opposite of that. And then people have asked me before, like, are you putting that on? Because you just sound, you know, your voice is so southern talking, but your vocals when singing is just totally opposite. And that's how I sing.
After listening to yours, you know, I kind of thought about it, and to me, I don't know how much you've heard him talk, but you're almost like an opposite of somebody like Keith Urban. You know, you hear Keith Urban talk, you hear the Australian accent, and he's talking and this, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's this guy gonna sound like? And then you hear him sing, and it's like, okay, well, he's got a country sounding voice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then yours, you know, I hear you talking, you got the country voice, and I hear you singing. It's just, I was blown away. That's what I thought about it. You know, I was blown away. Just not just great music, great singing, overall, just great music right there that you got.
I appreciate it. I know that like the first time I heard Keith Urban too, and many others, it really takes you by surprise when you hear you hear him singing, and then maybe you catch him on an interview on a radio station or you know, TV, and you're like, whoa, like they sound nothing like what they did, you know, singing on the radio. But I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're digging the song, and I'm more than honored to be here at Eagle today.
And also, don't even know if I had mentioned, you know, local artists here, living right here in the Grange right now.
Oh, yeah, no more than probably about 10, 15 minutes down the road.
Just down the road.
My home, you know, this is where I've called home for the past 8 years or so, and I grew up in Franklin, Georgia. That's where I went to school, Heard County. Go Braves.
That's right, Heard County. There we go. And hopefully we got a lot of people up in Heard County and LaGrange, and everybody tuned in. And it's always good to have local artists that are, you know, producing such great music and stuff like this. You know, we were talking about what kind of put you where you're at now as far as the music, what you grew up listening to, and then how it's influenced you along the way to where you are. And
oh yeah, bro. I would say, you know, starting at an early age, I was surrounded by country. That was all I knew from probably the time I was born up until, you know, I left my house pretty much, and that's what I grew up around. My mother, Cindy Purgason, I love her. She's one of, you know, huge supporter, as a parent should be for their children.
That's great.
She's fantastic. Her favorite artist is Loretta Lynn.
Okay.
That's somebody she hopes to meet one day, you know, before the end, and maybe that'll happen. But yeah, my mom loved Loretta Lynn, so I grew up around that. I grew up listening to Alabama. Grew up listening to, you know, Garth Brooks, of course, Alan Jackson. You know, he's kind of local too,
yep.
Being up in Newnan. And yeah, I grew up around it, and I enjoyed it. And believe it or not, my first song that I just fell in love with as a kid, probably around 6 or 7, which might surprise you, is a song by Winona Judd, No One Else on Earth.
Yep.
Love that song. I thought that was the coolest song ever. And I had a next door neighbor, this girl I was crazy about, you know, kind of a young crush. And I showed her that song, and I thought this song was just going to make her fall in love with me. I'm like, listen to this song. She's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Go home. Get out of my house. This song is fantastic.
That shows, you know, how much music can move people and influence people. Like you were saying, you know, you hear that song and you still remember to today, you know, that one song. And then even like we were talking about when, you know, you changed maybe a little bit of what you were listening to, and that affected it. But even in Closure, like you were saying, you still hear the banjo, and it's got like it's not country, but it's still got the country feel to it.
Yeah.
And
I think that comes from that song. Like it's collectively things that I grew up listening to. Like there's there's hints of country in it because as I was when I was younger, you know, country surrounded my life, and then, you know, you got a little bit of, I would say, pop, folk kind of sound to it, maybe a little bit of light rock, you know, and this is all things that I grew up with. As I got older, after I was, you know, up and on my own, you know, as any teen, I went through that teen angst stage, listened to rock.
Yep.
Listen to rock, listen
rock
to
and alternative.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Everything along those lines.
Loved it, and got a little older, you know, started listening to lighter things like Jack Johnson, John Mayer,
Yep.
Ed Sheeran, you know, and I try not to get stuck on one thing because I believe as an artist, you need to really listen to everything to be able to grow as a musician, so you don't get stuck in this rut of everything begins to sound the same and you start treading the same ground you've treaded a million times.
Well, that's part of what's so great about yours. You know, it keeps stuff fresh. You know, I listened to Closure that we're going to play for you here in just a minute, as well as some of your other music, and it shows. You know, I listen to it and you hear, not only am I hearing country music in it, I'm hearing pop, I'm hearing folk, I'm hearing alternative, and it goes to show. That's good, though, because you've got some bands and some artists that, well, they may stick around for a minute, but all their music sounds exactly the same.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many people out there like that. And I just, you know, I may like a song or two by them.
Oh, yeah.
But that's about all I want to hear, because when you go to listen to that fourth song, the fifth song, the sixth song, the seventh song, well, they still sound like the first and the second one.
I agree with you.
And there's so many people out there like that. And, you know, listening to your music, like, as I said earlier, blown away where, you know, you hear one song and you hear this, then you hear something else in the next one. And not just with the music itself, also with the lyrics. Good lyrical songs. You've got great music with it, just all in all. And the big thing right there, you keep it fresh. Whatever it is, it's always something new. It's not the same feel every time, which to me as an individual, if I'm going to listen to something, that's exactly what I want right there.
I appreciate it, Brett. That song, Closure, that you mentioned that I think you said we're going to play in just a bit for the listeners, that song, it is basically, I know we had talked about the music, but as far as lyrical content, as you was mentioning, it on the surface, it's just kind of a song about, you know things are not working in a relationship, but you keep going back because kind of like you're in love with a comfort zone. You're not really in love, but you're more in love with that comfort zone you've gotten used to, and it's kind of like, let's do it one more time, just for old time's sake.
Yep.
But that song is on so many levels more than just about bad relationships from the past. It's also a song about my former band, Thoughts Are Nuclear. It's things that you know it's time to walk away from it, but you don't want to because you've just gotten so close to it, but you know it's no longer something that is beneficial for your life, but you keep it around. And that's what it's a song on many levels.
So many levels to it. It's not just one basic thing right there.
Absolutely.
I want to go ahead and let people know, where can they find some of your music if they want to get out there and find your stuff?
You can go on Facebook, just type in Josh Purgason. The last name's a little tricky, a little funny, but it's P-U-R, not P-E-R. That's what a lot of people think, but P-U-R-G-A-S-O-N, Josh Purgason Official. I'll pop up. You'll see a picture with like a wolf mouth on it, an interesting little pic, and you can go there. And I got.
Now, who does all this artwork for you? Because I've checked out some of it, and just amazing right there on your site.
Well, thank you, man. I do all this stuff.
You do it?
I do it.
Oh, man. That is, yeah, you did a great job. I've looked at some of your stuff on your Facebook there, and, you know, some of the things you sent me, and it's just multi-talented person here.
Oh, I appreciate it. I try to put everything into what I do, and I've told people plenty of times that I could care less if people ever know me or my face, but I feel like these songs are important and they have something to say, and I want these songs to be known. And I don't really care about me being known. I feel like the songs have something to say.
They definitely have a great feel to them there. And anybody else, like you were talking about, you can find them on Facebook. We'll also have a post on there on our Facebook, so a little easier to remember. Sometimes that last name will throw people off. You can just check out facebook.com/Eagle1023. First post right there will be Josh Purgason. Kind of link to it. Easy to find. Check him out. Listen to his music. Let's go ahead and play Closure right here.
Sounds great.